With Madden NFL 26 just a month away, fans of EA Sports' take on American football are sure to be quite eager to get back out on the pitch and get started with the action in what's shaping up to be quite the upgrade from Madden NFL 25. Those upgrades come in various forms, influencing several key areas of the core gameplay loop on offer in the franchise, and they could throw you off your game if you don't make good use of them. With that in mind, here are a few key things to keep in mind before you go ahead and pick up a copy of the new game. 15. New Playsheets. Playsheets are a new feature in Madden 26, bringing a fresh layer of offense and defense strategy to your plays in the game. Designed to replicate the way in which real-life coaches innovate their strategies from game to game, Playsheets let you expand on your team's capabilities on the pitch, coming with 4 upgradable tiers as you complete specific objectives and goals to get to the next level. Bringing more than just attribute boosts, these upgrades can allow your players to master specific plays while also replicating real-life scenarios pulled from available NFL data. With seamless integration into your play calling menu, Playsheets are the first addition in a long list of changes to the Madden formula, and an important one at that. 14. Customizable coaches. While you can choose from among your favorite real-life coaches in the game, each coming with specific abilities and strategies, crafting a coach from scratch has become a whole lot more fun, and perhaps more thrilling to the overall experience in Madden 26. There are 200 new heads, a lot of different gear options, and the addition of 3 archetypes that cover offense, defense, and development strategies to give your team that extra edge. You may want to think about creating your own coach considering other additions, like coach storylines, which can let you truly bring your own unique experience to the game. 13. Ability and knockout goals. Expanding on your team's roster of skills between games and during individual seasons is bringing a very interesting twist: the addition of ability goals and knockout goals. Just like how playsheets are upgradable between 4 increasing tiers, the abilities that you assign to your players also come with upgrades when you manage to achieve the respective ability goals during games, which let you move up a tier. However, knockout goals serve as an interesting counterbalance to that mechanic, making you drop a tier if you're unable to use your abilities to their full potential on the pitch. You will need to be quite careful and choose a skill set that maximizes your team's potential in order to make the most of this revamped system. 12. Use seasoned abilities wisely. Speaking of abilities, your role as a coach is also going to be tested in the new game. Seasoned abilities on your loadouts are locked in for the duration of the season, making choosing between the many options you have hold that much more weight for your team as you take on each new challenge in that time frame. It's a layer of strategy that could very well make or break how your team performs in a season, as choosing an ability that does not work well with your now fairly elaborate playbook and a new opponent AI that is all set to be quite responsive to your actions can be quite punishing indeed. 11. Improved coordinator integration. While your coach is quite an important part of your team, the new archetype system might have been restrictive in terms of how they're allowed to shape your team's playbook. However, EA has been quite insightful in how to better round out a team's capabilities in Madden 26 with improvements to coordinators that make them quite integral to your success. A coach that specializes in offense strategies can now look to the defense coordinator to shore up that area of your overall strategy. With a lot of options, including veterans and younger, less experienced individuals, your staffing choices are now set to carry even more weight in comparison to previous titles. 10. Coach Central Approval Tracking. Crafting your legend as a coach in Madden 26 is set to become even more immersive. The Coach Central Hub tracks your progress as a coach and requires your team to develop and sustain good relationships with several crucial factions of your team, such as the GM, the coaching staff, your players, and even the media. What's more, each of these factions can play off of each other to affect your rating. You may find that your players hold meetings without you if they don't trust you enough, or the media tearing into any wrong decisions that you make in the field if they don't hold you in high regards. Fame and fortune can be fickle indeed, and Madden 26 ups the realism that the franchise is known for. Number 9. Your opponents adapt to your plays. While playing against human opponents is one part of the fun, taking on a CPU-controlled opponent is set to bring a fresh layer of nuance and strategy to the table. EA has made use of real-time NFL data and machine learning patterns to better respond to your actions in the field. You're going to have to change your plays on the fly, adapting to your opponents and keeping them on their toes. If you're the type of player to stick to tried and tested strategies play after play, you might be in for a surprising amount of resistance from an opposition that's trained to punish repetition and a lack of innovation. Number 8. Improved presentation. Changes and additions to available mascots, motion graphics, field art, uniforms, and so much more make your team's appearance on the pitch all the more thrilling while remaining true to their real-world counterparts. EA has been quick to hype up the reintroduction of mascots to the franchise in Madden 26, promising that they are a part of pre-game runouts, appearing between plays and even cheering on their team from the sidelines. Stadium sounds are another area where EA has amped up the immersion, bringing in team-specific sounds to better recreate the atmosphere of a real-life game. 7. Dynamic weather changes the course of each game. In addition to play sheets, an improved opponent AI, and a revamped approach to player and seasonal abilities, Madden 26 is also bringing a weather system to the table, adding a fresh wrinkle to each game you play. The weather system adds a further layer of unpredictability to every game that your team appears in, requiring you to adjust to conditions on the field even as your opponent is doing the same. From heavy snow to fog, conditions on the field go beyond adding visual realism, directly impacting your gameplay and making each match you take on quite the challenge. For instance, teams used to prevailing conditions on the field will have a distinct edge over a team that isn't, while the tables will be turned if they find themselves playing in conditions that they're not used to in their training. It's quite a step up from previous titles and is one that we'll be keeping an eye on when we get our hands on the game. 6. Improved player movements and animations. It's time to dive into the meat of Madden 26, the on-the-field action. All of the additions that EA is bringing to the table in this iteration of its popular franchise would not work if the very core of the experience, namely its gameplay loop, is found lacking. There is good news on that front, however, and a slew of improvements to crucial animations is all set to bring a very exciting experience to the field this time around. From a revamp to quarterback throwing animations to improvements in how defensive players approach the ball from varying angles, there's a lot to discover as you take on the best of the best. With improvements being made to every type of throw for offenders and swats from defenders, Madden 26 is primed to be the definitive experience for its players looking to gain an edge over the competition, and rise to greatness as a team that has its opponents nervous to take them on. 5. New passing mechanics. Improved animations are all set to work well with the new passing mechanics that bring a lot of depth to the core gameplay loop. Star players come with signature off-platform throws along with 3 new arm slots for throwing that include overhead, 3/4 high, and 3/4 low throws that directly impact how the ball is kept in play when you try to retain control of it. Quarterbacks who adjust their styles in the real world will be reflected in-game, allowing a select few stars to dynamically adjust their angles while in the field. It's quite deep, and is sure to be very rewarding when Madden 26 hits the shelves. 4. QB DNA. Quarterbacks are probably one of the most significant improvements in the new game. Their on-the-field behavior is seeing several changes that make them better reflect their real-world inspirations, and a new trait system is all set to make them quite distinct from each other as you go from one game to another. A new trait system that applies to coaches as well can make every individual QB a very distinct presence on the field, with some traits even influencing who they decide to pass to in the event that they're being controlled by the CPU. It's a system that could translate to a lot of unpredictable outcomes as a game progresses, just as a game of football would be like off-screen. 3. Adaptive counters. In line with improvements to opponent AI, CPU coaches also get a refreshing upgrade that allows them to dynamically switch up their strategies in response to your actions. Once again, the use of real-world data from the NFL's long history is being used to create a more responsive gameplay loop that can see your opponents switch things up in order to sway the momentum of a game that seems to be going in your favor. That could very well make Madden 26 an experience that could be both challenging to play and very rewarding to master. 2. An improved wear and tear system. Just like College Football 26, a new wear and tear system is being added to Madden 26, tracking players' fatigue, injuries from previous games, and more, in order to make things look more and feel more real on the field. Players who are not at their best might find themselves at a disadvantage against opponents who are better rested, while the talents that they are famous for might seem out of their grasp unless their injuries are better managed by you, their coach. It's a system that could work very well with all the other additions in the game, making your role as a coach carry that much more weight in every game or season that you bring your team to. 1. Superstar Career Chapters. EA's latest revamp of the Superstar portion of Madden is going to be quite the makeover with the addition of Superstar Career Chapters, a pathway to true NFL stardom that can be quite different for each player looking to climb up the ranks in their own way. Quite similar to Coach Central in its structure, fostering your superstar career involves more than just performing like a pro every time you take the field. You'll need to hone your relationships with teammates, staff, the media, and even your fans in order to ensure that you come out on top of the table from season to season. With clear goals to achieve and a lot of work involved, you will need to put your best foot forward in order to consistently improve your standing, or find yourself falling backwards if you fail to do so. These are some of the most important things to keep in mind before you pick up your copy of EA Sports Madden NFL 26. We'd love to hear about the things that have you the most excited to dive into when it drops next month. Hey, did you know that we at GamingBolt upload new videos every day? Stick around, drop a like, subscribe, and hit that bell. And let us know what kind of content you'd like to see in the future with a comment below.